Miami's got a new football coach. Hurricanes and former Georgia coach Mark Richt coming together. He will be the next Hurricanes head coach. I'm Brian Clark at CineSport talking about this with Matt Porter. He covers Miami for the Palm Beach Post. Matt, how did this go down?
Miami fired Al Golden on October 25th, and since then, they've been very quiet about their intentions, but it did come out when Mark Richt was fired by Georgia on Sunday. It came out, almost instantaneously, Miami's interest in him. It just made sense. He's a former Hurricanes quarterback. He was the backup to Jim Kelly in the early 80s, coached at Florida State, won 2 national titles there, obviously had a great run of success at Georgia. He was their top choice almost as soon as he hit the market. This is a program that hasn't won a national title since 2001, hasn't had a 10-win season since 2003 or won a bowl in almost 10 years. So they were really looking for a home run, and they definitely got it with Mark Richt. They interviewed him on Tuesday. There were reports that he had spoken with Virginia. I wasn't able to confirm those reports, but now he decided on the Hurricanes.
And looking at what this means for Miami, is it, in their minds, almost a home run hire? Because you get a guy from Georgia. He's won the SEC. It's not like Al Golden, who was coming from Temple, a guy who had been at the top of the SEC and ran a very clean program and is a respected and well-liked coach. Is that why it's basically the perfect fit?
Yeah, you hit it. I haven't spoken with anyone yet tonight. I've been trying to reach out to as many people as possible who will say a bad thing about Mark Richt. His record on the field to, the way he carries himself in recruiting, he's always seen as a positive guy. He's won 2 SEC titles. Miami is the subject of the national conversation in college football right now. I mean, the playoff rankings just came out, but now everybody's talking about Miami. When they hired Al Golden, he was seen as an okay coach if people knew who he was. One former Miami player today went on a little bit of a Twitter rant about how thankful he is that Miami finally hired a coach they recognized. They didn't even know who Al Golden was in a players' meeting in 2010 when he took over.
Yeah, that says a lot. So obviously Mark Richt, a household name, especially in the South. What's going to be his biggest challenge once he sets foot on campus in Coral Gables?
Well, 2 things, one on the field and one off the field. I would say on the field, fixing the defense. Mark Richt is an offensive guy. He needs to hire a strong defensive coordinator. We're not quite sure who he might bring at this point. We're told that it's not going to be Jeremy Pruitt, who is his defensive coordinator at Georgia. Fixing that defense is the first problem. That has been a huge issue for Miami. The second thing would be just adjusting to South Florida. I mean, he's been in Athens, Georgia for the last 15 years. He was in Tallahassee for 15 years before that. Everybody says that he's from Boca Raton. That's true. He went to high school down here in South Florida, played quarterback at UM, but when he was there in the late 70s and early 80s, it was a completely different place. Right now, Miami's an international city, so the pace, things like that, of life for him as a 55-year-old empty nester moving down here with his wife, those could be adjustments. But as they say, and as many people know, South Florida is a very easy place to retire to, or I guess become a head football coach.
Miami fans hope it's a winning football coach. Mark Richt now in charge in Coral Gables. Matt Porter of the Palm Beach Post. Thanks, Matt.